Hello and welcome to Getting Started with Your Cart. Today we're going to have a basic walkthrough of your cart to help you get started with your new system. The first section we're going to look at is your My Account settings. Important place to start, so let's get logged in. After you're into your admin area, you'll see the Getting Started area. This has some good information for you to take a minute to read when you have some time. On the left is your navigation panel, and depending on the part of the system you're using, you may or may not have all of those items. Up top, towards the left of the white area, is your link to your active site, so you can go check your progress as you work along. On the upper right side is the email address of the person who's logged in and making changes, and then a log off button if you need to use it. On the left navigation panel, if you click on My Account and Account Information, this will take you to the Account Information editing page. If you look up at the top right-hand corner of the page there, you'll see that Need Help. That slides in on each area that you go to. You can click here to see helpful tips and videos on how to work on the page. The red text under the Account Information page name is a list of useful tips that we've put together for each page that'll help remind you in case you happen to forget what it is you might need to edit or do on a particular page. Now, to edit the Account Information page, click on the Edit button and it'll open up a new window for you. This holds true for most areas that you go to within your site to edit. A new window will pop up, and there could be one tab or several tabs for you to look at. Here there's 5 tabs. Fill out your company information and then your shipping information. And for your shipping information, this is important to keep updated because this could be something we ship to you, or if you happen to purchase something from an integrated vendor, then this is the address they would use. Also fill in your contact information on the next tab over, your system settings regarding your computer and the system you're on, and then a business category. The business category is very helpful in case we happen to come out with any new products that would be useful for your particular business type. So fill those out, and then when finished, click Save. Okay, next we're going to edit the Users page. On the left navigation panel, click Users, and this will take you to the Account Users page. Here you'll see a list of all users who have been approved to make edits and changes to your website. To add a new user, simply click on the Add New button, and in the window that pops up, fill out the requested information. On the second tab over is User Permissions. This is very helpful because you'll be able to take each user and set separate permissions for each one, whether you want them to be able to read, write, or delete the pages that they're working on. When finished, click Save. From the Account Users main page, you can also change information for any user that you need to. Simply click on their email link, go to the Users Information page, make any changes you need to, and click Save. Alright, back over to the left panel and click on Activity Log. This is going to show you a list of all changes that have been made to your site, by whom and when they were made. There's also boxes up above that you can put in different parameters to do a search for changes as well. Now back over to the left panel and let's click on Invoices. This is going to show you a list of all invoices that go between us and you. If you ever have a question about a specific invoice, simply call customer service to discuss it. The paragraph above here has some interesting information. You might give it a quick read when you have a minute. And under billing statements, depending on the type of account you have, you may or may not see a list of billing statements here. Alright, let's get started with the cart. We're going to go to Cart Settings first, and we're going to give you a basic walkthrough of the cart to get you familiar with the system, and there'll be more in-depth videos for you to watch regarding other areas of the cart. Alright, let's go to the left navigation panel and click on Cart Settings, and then the Settings section. And I want to remind you again of the red text at the top of the page. That will remind you in case you've forgotten what you need to edit, and also the Need Help button. To edit this page, click on the Edit button, and this will bring up another display for you to go through the tabs and fill in. Many of these settings are used as default settings later on in your cart, so you want to go through and make sure you fill in all of these. There's 4 tabs to fill out in this section, and there's also possibly a scroll bar in some of the tabs, so make sure that you fill in all areas of this section. Starting at the top, most of the items are self-explanatory, but we'll go through a few of them just to give you a hand. The thumbnail size is the size of the image that your viewer is going to look at when they're actually in your cart. Check out all those sizes and see which one you like best. The collection sort order is going to be this order that your events show on your website. You can have them ascending or descending, and by name or by date. You can check out what you like best once you have more than one event loaded up into your cart. Alright, the next one is the full screen display, and I thought it easier to show you an example of what these look like. This is the check mark in the box. It takes away your logo and the navigation bar on your website, and this one actually shows your logo and the navigation bar. It gives the viewer less of a viewing area for the images and the collections. The next selection is for full page thumbs, and this will be when your viewer goes into an event. The checkmark in that box will bring up the default where it's a full width of thumbnails, and this is actually set to the large thumbnails just in case you're curious what size this one is. Then your viewer can click on an image and it will slide the thumbs over so that they bring up the full image for them to begin their ordering process. Then they can click on this arrow in the middle and it takes it back to the full page thumbs. And then alternately, if you take that checkbox out and your viewer goes to the event, then it will default to just this view where it shows the thumbs on the left and then the full image on the right so that they can start their ordering process that way. So check those both out and see which one you like best. Next on the list is the favorites type that you want to use. We have several different colors and options for you to use if you want to try to match the look and feel of your website. Then just fill out the rest of the check marks on this tab and we'll switch over to the next tab, Archive Settings. Now, archiving is a very useful tool. Archiving is used for putting the images into a state that your end customer has to pay to view them because they've waited too long to view them at first. We've done extensive testing on our end, and we found that the least amount of time you leave events up, the more percentage of orders that you receive. It creates that sense of urgency to the viewers that, hey, I need to get in there and get my images ordered. But if they don't, then you use this archive access text box to type a message to them so that when they click on the event, they're going to see this message and it's going to explain to the end customer that access to the archive will cost some amount. You could say like $5, and you put that information in the boxes below here from what you type up above, and you give them a time limit. So you could say it's going to cost you $5 to access this event, but when you place your order, you'll get a $5 credit, and the archive is active for 5 days. Again, this gives them that second sense of urgency. If they missed it the first time, it's like, hey, I need to get this order placed so I don't lose that amount of money I paid to access the event. We have many photographers who use this archive tool very successfully. Now let's move on to the digital download settings. For those of you who do want to sell digital downloads, we only have two little areas to fill in here. You can let your customers know how many days they will have to access those digital downloads once they place their order. And if you have any events that have 0 price tags on the digital images, you can allow an instant digital download by checking this box. Say you're an architecture photographer and you did a session where they paid up front for all their images. You could put the 0 price tag on this and they'd be able to go choose them and do an instant digital download with those. And then the last tab here in this section is the order notification. You'll put the email address or addresses of those you want to get notified once an order is placed. Okay, next up is tax settings. Go ahead and click on tax settings in the left navigation panel and take a look at the red text up at the top because we've given you the names to use for these countries based on where you live. That's the name of your tax. Click on Add New. We're going to do United States, and under name just put in the United States sales tax name. Click on Tax Table and then just put in the studio zip code. If you're going to do another country, you'll want to use the drop down arrow, click on Custom Tax, put in the name, and then fill in the information down below. Alright, on the left navigation, click on Shipping Methods, and I've already created one shipping method called Standard Shipping. Double click on it there and you can just see the parts you could edit: the name, the sort order, flat rate, order total rates, and then I've already got a couple filled in there, but we'll show you how to create a new one here. Click on Add New, give your shipping method a name, give it a sort order, how you want it to appear in your list, and whether it's flat rate or order total rates. We're going to do a flat rate, and here you'll just choose what the flat rate is you want it to be and click Save. And you could name that flat rate $5 if you'd like to. Let's go do another one. Let's do another Add New. We want it to be the sort order of 3, and this one's going to be order total rates. So you're going to click Add, and we're going to tell people that from $0 to $20, their shipping is going to be $3.50. Save that, and then add another, and then from $20 to say $40, it's going to cost them $6.50. And then just continue filling out your shipping amounts based on your order totals. And you could also use this section to give your customers free shipping if their order is over a certain dollar amount. And then once you have those all filled out, just click Save. Once you're back to your list of price sheets, you can double click on any one of them and delete it or change any of the settings on it. Alright, click on Ship to Locations back in the left navigation panel. And if you only have one studio location or you are not using our integrated lab shipping, you can leave this section blank. So if you do have more than one studio, or you might be using one of our integrated labs that you would expect product shipments from, go ahead and fill in this information. Now we've set it to default for the information that you filled in your My Account will fill in with the My Studio. You could add a second location if you needed to. Alright, back to the left navigation panel, let's click on Payment Methods. To add a new payment method, just click on Add New, and you'll see there's 4 options at the top. Check or money order, cash, credit card, real-time processing, credit card non-real-time, and a payment service. You'll want to go ahead and fill in all of the sections here. You can charge an additional flat fee if you'd like to, or an additional percentage. Some people like to recoup the percentages that their credit card companies charge. And if you are using one of the 2 real-time processing options we have available, you can click there and choose either Authorize.net or the PayPal Pro payments plan. Now, if you choose either one of these, you will need to know your login credentials, your API information, in order to make those work with your cart. When finished, click Save. Alright, back in the left navigation, click on Discounts, and then we're going to click on Add New. First, you have to give your discount a name. This one's going to be for one of our most valued customers, and we want to give them a 15% discount with each order they place. So we'll call this one MVC15. And we're going to give them a code. And if they type in that code at checkout, they're going to get that value. So you can decide whether you want it to be a percent or an amount and click Save. And then you see there's the discount we created. To use one of the other ones, click on Add New, give it a name, and this would be if they order early. You could name it order within 2 days or whatever. Give them the time frame, and again give them another value, whether it's percent or dollars off. This time we're going to give them a $5 discount if they order within 3 days. And click Save. And you'll see your list of discounts here as you add them. Next, back to the left navigation panel, let's click on Order Status. We have a default built-in of 4 system order statuses, and you can go in and click on those and change them if you'd like to, or you can just click Add New. These come in very handy when you see your full list of customer orders, so at a glance you can tell what's happening with them. To make a new status, click Add New, choose a name. We'll just duplicate one that we've already got created. Choose a color, give it a sort order, and you can choose to have your customer notified of this status via email if you'd like to. Let's say you created one that when the order ships, you go in here and do that, and they'll get a notification. When finished, click Save. Then you'll see your list of order status items here. The list will just continue for as many as you add. You can change them and delete them however you'd like to. Alright, now that you've got your settings all taken care of, we're going to go ahead and skip over the products section because that's going to be a video all of its own. There's a lot of detail on that one. We want to make sure we cover it properly. So we're going to go to the Photos tab and talk to you about the sections there. The first section you'll see is watermark, so go ahead and click on that. And please note the red text at the top. It says that watermarks are applied to images during upload and cannot be removed or changed without re-uploading. So click Add New, and we're going to give our watermark a name. And this is the name of the watermark that you'll see in your list. And we're doing a text watermark. You'll be able to place that wherever you'd like on the image. The corners, the center, you get to choose where you'd like it to be. Then you can choose the font you would like to use. You can choose your font size. and also the opacity. And then type in the text that you would like to show on the image. We've also included some handy copy and paste items below to make it easier for you to fill in your watermark text. You can copy the copyright symbol and then what you want it to say. To preview what you've created, click on the Preview tab, select an image, and then hit the Preview button. You'll see this one's kind of light, so we're going to go back in and adjust that opacity. Let's try 60% and see how that looks. And that's a little bit darker. That looks good enough for me, so I'm going to click OK and click Save. And if you choose you'd rather do one with an image, click on Add New, give it a name, click on the Watermark Image button, choose where you want it to be, click the Browse button, upload your image, and then preview it. And when you're all finished, click Save. Alright, up next is Welcome Pages. Click on Welcome Pages from the left navigation bar. And a welcome page, if your viewers go to view an event you don't have a welcome page, it'll go directly to the thumbnails. With a welcome page, it'll take them to a page that tells them about the event or your type of photography. So let's click Add New. We're going to give our welcome page a name. We're going to name this one Wedding Welcome, because you can choose this to be a default in your upload profiles. We'll show you that in a little bit. Type the text you'd like your button to read, and then once a new page is saved, the content can be edited by clicking on the edit icon in the welcome pages list. You'll also want to choose the layout that you'd like to start with for your welcome page, but you can edit that as you go along later on. Then click Save. We'll go back to the welcome page list, and you can click on the edit icon next to that page we just created. When you click that edit icon next to your welcome page, it brings up the edit navigation bar. We're going to click on the Add an Image icon up in the bar and select an image to upload into that left column, because we choose the two-column layout when we set up the page. Then in the right column, we're going to click and add some text. And now we'll add text to that right column. And you could put whatever you'd like here. It can be generic if you're going to use this as your default profile for your weddings. Then you could actually go in and customize them later on once you have your events created. And then once you're done with that, click the Save button up in the navigation bar and click OK. And you can create as many welcome pages as you'd like to, and the list will show right here. Alright, up next is Upload Profiles from your left navigation bar. And this is a place where you can set defaults for each of your events that you upload. And you can have active, inactive, archive, coming soon, pay to enter. Those are just the options for the upload. You can also change any of these by double-clicking on those words. But let's look at adding a new one. Click on Add New. You're going to give your profile a name, a description, whether you want it to be active, inactive, whichever. You can choose to include high-res images. You can choose the default that your viewer will see those images when they look. You can give it an auto keyword and make it a default profile. On the next tab over, here you'll see those watermarks we created earlier, the welcome pages that we created, and the discounts created. You can choose to have these auto-archive in a certain number of days, or you can just choose to have it auto-expire if you'd rather. And we haven't covered price sheets yet, but they'll be in another video. But once you have those created, you'll choose your price sheet to attach to this profile, and then one of your shipping options as well. And then when you're finished, click Save. Okay, now that we've got all those things created above, let's actually upload a collection. On the left side, click Collections and Events, and take a quick read of the red text at the top again, just to reacquaint yourself with how to do this in case it's been a bit before you build your first one. There's also that Profiles to use. You can see that we have that select on Active right now. We're going to click Add New, and this gray default image is what your viewers will see if you don't change the image. So you can click on Change Image, navigate to a folder, find the image that you would like to use, select it, and then click on the Open button. You can reposition your image within that square once it's uploaded. You'll give your collection a name, and this is also what your viewers will see in the card itself, and if you choose to, a small description. The description is not required, so you can choose to use it if you'd like to, but you don't have to. And this tab does have a scroll bar, so be sure to scroll down and fill in all of the information. You don't need a reference number, but you can choose to have one. If it's password protected, type in a password. The date of the collection is required, And if you choose to have it archive on a certain date, you can, or expire on a certain date. All right, next click on the Settings tab, and two settings you need to look at is a group and the master collection. Group is if you want to attach a price sheet at a master level. Say you have weddings, sports, and schools, you would choose that, or choose master collection for single events. So go ahead and click on that master collection button. We're going to have it have active status. You can fill in all these drop downs, things you're already familiar with us building, and put in your price sheet and your shipping and click Save. Okay, now that you have your event created, we are going to add some photos. There's a couple little icons I want to point out. The orange envelope is where you can actually go into your event that you've created and send an email invitation for someone to view it. And the blue gear is the settings, so you can open up and change any settings. But to add the images, you're going to click on the test collection name that we created. Then you're going to go into your folder and choose your images and click Open. Then it will upload those images for you. And then once all the images have uploaded, it'll take you back to your list of events. And then you can expand that folder by clicking the little arrow next to it. You'll see that you've got 3 images. You can double click on that to see the images you've got. You can add some keywords for searching. You can delete images, and then you can double click on those to view them full size if you need to. Click Close, and then the little plus next to the images takes you to a window where you can actually select additional images to upload into your event. And now you know how to create your first event. Good luck and have fun! Now back over to the left navigation panel, click on Customers. 4 quick items to look at here. Customer search, you can do a search for customers if you can just follow the information on the red text above. Then Orders, this is going to show you a list of all the orders placed on your event. Be sure to read the red text up top, and then also you'll see those statuses that we looked at in the order status list. You can create gift certificates by clicking on Add New. And then Favorites, when your customers are logged in with their email address, you'll be able to look at the number of images that they have in their favorites here. Tech support, click on Contact, and this is our preferred method for you to get a hold of us. This gives us all the information about your system. You can type in your question or issue and click Submit. And then if you need to change your language, you can do that on the next tab. Alright, this concludes our basic cart walkthrough video. I want to take this time to thank you for viewing, and don't be afraid to watch this more than once. There's a lot to learn, but I think you're going to have a great time getting your cart going. Take care and happy cart building!